Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Stardew Valley. Last time, we continued on our goal to raise money for getting the new house upgrade, and we also chopped down a bunch of hardwood to do it, so we made a fair bit of money. Not a whole lot today, or yesterday, rather. But we made a fair bit of it. We also got ourselves a new iridium ring, which glows, attracts items, and increases attack damage by 10%, so it replaced our glow ring. So much better hardware. And also a letter. I found this in a drawer somewhere. Thought you could use it. Of course Pam would give me beer. Well, I'm selling it. Okay, so, more mail. Chrono, tomorrow is the Feast of the Winter Star. Did you get a gift for your secret friend, Penny? The feast starts at 9 a.m. in the town square. See you then. Okay, so the good news is, I went ahead and looked up what Penny wants, and that's the wrong one. All I need to give her is a diamond. I mean, that's really it. Because she actually likes a fair number of things, but since I've got multiple diamonds, I just need to remember not to sell them. And she likes that quite a bit, thank you very much. So, yeah, definitely a good thing to do. Okay, let me go ahead and get some copper going, because I want to get some metals going while I'm just doing my ablutions. Then I'll probably put something a little bit longer, like gold or silver, or iron. I keep calling it silver, I don't know why. But I'll probably put gold or iron in after my ablutions are over with. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into, well, obviously do my ablutions. Then I'm going to go into the gold mines because I want to, like I said, my main goal right now is to make money for getting the house upgrade. To wit, probably the best thing to do is going to be going into the gold mines because then I won't have to worry about mortar danger. I won't have to worry about mortal danger like I would in the Calico mines, but also I can get money easily enough because gold's pretty valuable, I mean, as you guys saw the other day. So yeah, I think that should stand me in good stead, and I'm going to take all these with me so I remember to sell them. Let's see, anything else I can really sell? Not particularly. Okay, so yeah, well, never mind about my copper, because they're already ready, so I suppose I might as well go ahead and put the gold in while I'm doing my ablutions. It's just to get them ready. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's do the gold next. And granted, I have more iron, so I probably should be doing that, but the gold takes longer, so I figure while I'm running around doing all my ablution stuff, I can be working on that. Ah, poor Aubie. He's surrounded by furnaces all the time. Alright, so I will do my usual stuff, and I'll see you guys on the other side. If we happen to find stuff in the greenhouse that's grown, I will show that. But if not, I'll see you guys on the other side in the gold mines. Well, as it turns out, we do have a couple of things to grab. Some good hot peppers, and then I think we've got some eggplants too. So, I wonder, let's see. I know I have no room open right now in my... No, I don't want to eat that. I know I have no room open right now in the bins, or in the preserves jars and things like that, because they're working on stuff. So, let's see. What should I do with all these? Let me put some of them up here. Okay, good. So I've got enough room for... Okay, I don't. So let's take the hot peppers out. Put them in here so I can have them together. Probably should be doing that with coconuts and such too, but... Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell half the silvers. Let's see, and how am I looking in terms of some of my other stuff? Okay, hops, actually, I need to put in my fridge because I need to be putting those in the kegs. And let's see, same thing for the wheat, honestly. Okay, so bok choys, let's sell you. Okay, let's sell both of you guys. I want to keep enough so I can be putting them into preserves jars if I need to. But, okay, no, don't sell those things. Sell you and you and you and you. There we go. Okay, now these things, obviously, we're going to put in the fridge because I want to keep them close by so that I remember to be putting them into the kegs because they make way better money in the kegs than really just about anything else we have. Okay, so, sorry about that, but since there was something in the greenhouse, I figured I would go ahead and show you. I'm also going to do some wood chopping too because I want to get my hardwood for the day. So when I got done with all that, mine time. Alright, so now, finally, I got done with everything. So here we are in the gold mines, and we start off pretty well. I didn't even check the luck for today, actually, so I'm not sure how well we're slated to do, but it's a good start now, at least. And I guess what I want to talk about today as far as topics go actually is something that, well, I mean, you'll know when I'm recording this as I say it, because it actually, word started really breaking yesterday about this. And that was essentially the dismissal of most all of the employees at Telltale Games. If you're not familiar with Telltale, it still is a company for now, but it's going to be shuttering fairly soon. But it is a company that developed, and develops, I guess, because they're still working on one project, but developed a lot of story-driven, basically visual novel type games, really. They, among probably the most well-known were the Walking Dead games, The Wolf Among Us. It's the one that I knew the best because I've seen it played a couple of times. And those games are generally pretty engaging because the whole idea behind them was that you were whomever. For instance, in The Wolf Among Us, you were the big bad wolf, basically. And you went through whatever events the stories talked about, and you made decisions that would essentially affect the fates of the people who were with you in your adventure. And those games tended to carry a good bit of, essentially, gravity to them, which was, of course, the whole point. And they're, at least from what I saw, The Wolf Among Us, as I mentioned, I watched a couple people play through it, and little bits and pieces of the Walking Dead games, they were really good. Which makes you kind of wonder, and made other people wonder, well, why in the world is a company that's doing so well in terms of how their game quality and production was, why are they shuttering down? Well, essentially they explained in the tweets that accompanied their dismissal of about 90% of their staff, at least for now, once the project that they're working on, I think Walking Dead Season 2, finishes, the company's completely shuttering up. But essentially in the tweets that they sent out, they mentioned that as much as people seemed to really like their games, it didn't make them enough money. So essentially they closed for, basically capitalistic reasons, which, given that this world runs on capitalism, it is obviously not a surprise. It is truly unfortunate, though, and I will say, first off, it's unfortunate to me because those games were really good games. I mean, there was a unique quality to their storytelling that you really couldn't get much of anywhere else. And that's unfortunate. We need more of those in this landscape. We need more good story-driven games. Of course, I say that, and also part of the whole thing, I mean, to some degree, I suppose, granted, this is obviously a very, very small thing in the grand scope, but to some degree, though, I'm not entirely fit to talk about it because, to some degree, I suppose you could say I share the blame for this. And you might be thinking, well, isn't that really selfish or grandiose of you, or no, how could you? You're just one person. But the problem is, and one of the commenters on Twitter pointed this out, and I tend to agree with him. Probably the big issue ultimately was that a lot of people could watch the games on YouTube or Twitch, and in doing so, get the story, and thus not really need to buy it so much, because the urgency to actually purchase the game went down courtesy of the fact that you could watch them, that you could essentially see the story. So, in that sense, all of us who watched it on YouTube or Twitch or whatever platform, and then ended up not getting the games, either because we maybe had seen it and thus it kind of slipped out of our consciousness, or what have you, we to some degree share culpability, I think. And that's unfortunate too, because in a sense, I don't know. I'm not really sure exactly what to say about the whole thing, except, and granted, I am not presuming to lay the feet of a closure of a video game studio on one person or one group of people, But it is certainly true that those of us who watched the playthroughs and then ended up not getting the game because we felt we knew the plot kind of share a little bit of culpability in the whole thing. And that actually kind of leads me on to a related topic, and that is whether there is a real sustainable market for story-driven, story experience type games like The Wolf Among Us or The Walking Dead's, or for instance, say the Ace Attorney games, which feature a bit more in the way of what you would call gameplay, I guess, but they still drive toward one singular goal in terms of a story. And once you find that point, there really isn't much to commend it elsewise. I suppose to some degree with the Phoenix Wright games, you could probably look at it a little bit differently, and certainly with games like, say, Professor Layton, because there is more of a continuing puzzle-solving aspect to those games than there was for something like The Wolf Among Us or The Walking Dead games. Because with The Walking Dead games, it's essentially about making decisions, and if you make the right decisions, you get the outcome you want, or at least you think you will. And if you make the wrong decisions, then you get another outcome, or at least you think you do. Now, to some degree, there is replay value and thus more, I guess, marketability in regards to the idea that there would be multiple, maybe endings to a game or something of that ilk. But I'm still not really sure if the market is good for any sort of long-term investment in those types of games. And it seems like the demise of Telltale is really evidence of that in a lot of ways. And holy crap, I'm out of time already. Jeez. I gotta get out of here. I didn't realize it was that late. Man. Felt like I just gotten started talking. But it really is unfortunate because with the demise of Telltale, I think we're kind of seeing the demise of not just a game company, but to a fair degree a type of game. A genre. And that is regrettable, certainly. Okay, so am I putting the common mushroom? I am. I need to be putting the stronger ones into sale, because I've got 23 of these. I think I'm good. I've got 11 of these. I think I'm good. Then let's see. Oh, I'm keeping you guys because of your energy. Although I can sell you. I don't have any room. Huh. I need to fix that. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, it's unfortunate that this ended up happening as it has, because from what I had seen, Telltale was a good company as far as products were concerned. Now, though, that the company is closing, it's starting to come to light that maybe there were some, well, let's just say less savory business practices going on at Telltale, which admittedly would also not be too much of a surprise because capitalism is capitalism. Oh, I must have hit the button before I hit shift. So there's that too. At the same time, though, it still is unfortunate because from what I had seen, certainly of Telltale's games and content, they made good stuff. So I would have liked to obviously see that continue, but of course at the same time, as I mentioned, the fact that it's not continuing means that to a fair degree, one could argue that I share culpability because I never did buy any of their games, even when they were on sale. So, I mean, I suppose in a sense mea culpa? I don't know. But it's still a shame. It is very much a shame that the company is closing and leaving a lot of its employees behind with it. So hopefully those employees will be able to find something, kind of find their feet again. I'm pretty sure they likely will, because they can effectively walk into a room and go, hey, I have XYZ experience. I've worked for one of the best companies in the business in regards to that content, etc., etc. So I'm pretty sure they'll land on their feet, and I hope they do. But it's unfortunate that Telltale ended up having to exit because the games just simply weren't making enough money. That also, of course, speaks to a bigger thing, a bigger issue, I suppose, with capitalism, but maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's something I can get into another time, maybe with tomorrow's episode or something like that. I can't really be sure because I'm not sure how much time I'll have, but I don't know. That's probably an issue for another time. For one, because, well, I need to go, and secondly, because I'm running out of time on this day. So thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate it as always. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Tomorrow, depending on how much money we have, we'll probably continue on in the mines because we don't need the solar essences anymore for the iridium band, but we do need the money and, of course, the hardwood that I am harvesting day by day so that we can then get the house upgrade. We probably won't see it before the end of year one, but at least we'll have it. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate it as always, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Also, Santa Claus is coming to town. And I've got to take that diamond with me for Penny. And we have enough money, I think. I think we've got enough money. Let's see, we should, because I had 35K. Yeah, we've got enough money for the house upgrade. We won't be able to get it until, obviously, the day after the winter, the festival of the Winter Star. But yeah, so we've got enough money. So yay! Now we just need to get the hardwood.